For as long as I could remember, there was one door in our house that was always locked. It stood at the end of a narrow hallway, painted in old, faded white. No one ever opened it, no one ever talked about it, and yet somehow everyone knew it existed. When I was a child, I asked my mother about it once. She stopped walking, stared at the door for a moment, and said quietly, "Some doors are locked for a reason." That was all. Years passed. I grew older. The house grew quieter. My father passed away. My mother became more distant, as if part of her lived behind that door. Every time I walked past it, I felt something: curiosity, fear, and a strange sadness I couldn't explain. One night, during a storm, the power went out. Thunder shook the walls, and lightning briefly lit up the hallway. For the first time, I noticed something different. The door was slightly open. Not wide, just enough to notice. My heart started pounding. I stood there, frozen, staring at the thin line of darkness behind it. For years it had been sealed shut, untouchable, and now it was open. I called out to my mother. No answer. I took a step closer. The air felt heavier near the door, like the past itself was pressing against me. Slowly, I pushed it open. Inside was a small room. Dust floated in the air. The light from the hallway revealed old furniture covered with sheets. A faint smell of old paper and wood filled my lungs. On the far wall hung dozens of photographs, photos of my mother, but not the woman I knew. These photos showed her younger, smiling, standing next to people I had never seen before, traveling, laughing, living a life she had never spoken about. On the small table in the center of the room sat a wooden box. I opened it. Inside were letters, dozens of them, all written in my mother's handwriting. None of them were sent. They were letters to herself. In them, she wrote about dreams she once had, a career she wanted to pursue, a love she lost, a version of herself she felt forced to abandon. One letter stopped me cold. I locked this door so I wouldn't have to remember who I used to be, but forgetting is a slow kind of pain. I sat on the floor, surrounded by pieces of a life I never knew existed. That night, I didn't sleep. The next morning, I found my mother sitting at the kitchen table, staring into her cup of tea. "I opened the door," I said quietly. She didn't look surprised. She nodded slowly. "I wondered when you would." We talked for hours. For the first time, she told me the truth about the choices she made, about the sacrifices, about the regrets, about the strength it took to keep going. She told me the door wasn't locked to protect secrets. It was locked to protect her from pain. That day, we went back to the room together. We removed the sheets. We opened the windows. Light filled the space. The door stayed open, and something changed, not just in the house, but in both of us. I realized something important. We all have doors like that, rooms inside ourselves where we hide the parts of who we used to be, dreams we didn't follow, feelings we buried. But the truth is, locked doors don't erase the past. They only delay healing. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is finally open the door.